Morning everybody, it's time for our Year 1 Marvellous Maths lesson. Today can you make sure that you have got these things ready for our lesson? You'll need to make sure that you have a pencil to write with, your exercise book, as well as 20 objects. Those objects might be sweets, they might be crayons, they could be little stones or buttons, it doesn't matter, as long as you carefully count 20 of them. You can pause the video now where you go and get those things. Okay, let's start by warming up our brains. So let's get ready for maths. So let's have a look at this first question. Number 1, what number comes next? Now I'm not going to read the numbers today, I'm going to let you read them. Question 2, what number comes next? You might notice that this time the numbers are going down, not up, counting backwards from 20, just like we were doing yesterday. Question 3, which number is 16? So, is it the 6 then the 1, or the 1 then the 6? And question 4, oh, switch your super brains on for this question. Find the mistake. Can you see where there is a little mistake with those numbers? And write down the number that is the mistake. We're going to go through the answers now. So number 1, which number comes next? So here are the numbers that were given, and I asked you to read them yourselves and work out what number comes next. So we had 9, 10, 11, and the next number is fabulous, 12. So we write 12 with a 1 as the first digit and then a 2 as the second digit. Right then, so question 2, what number comes next? And I asked you to read them again yourself, like we were doing yesterday, counting backwards. 20, 19, 18. What comes next? 17. Wonderful. And we write that with a 1 and a 7. 17. Brilliant. Okay, question 3. Which number is 16? Is it this or this? The answer is this one. 16. A 1 and a 6. 16. Number 4, find the mistake. Oh, which of those numbers does not follow our pattern? Excellent, well done. It is this number here, because that is not how we write 14. How do we write 14? Can you tell me? A 1 and then a 4. 14. Super start, everybody. Well done. Okay, now we're going to practice counting in our 5s together. So I'm going to start. I'd like you to say the next number. Okay, 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55. Brilliant. Remember, we stop at 60 with our counting in 5s. Okay, can we do it the other way around? Can you start this time? Wait for me to point. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Wow, give yourself a huge rainbow clap. Super counting in 5. Okay, boys and girls, so today we are going to be learning to show and understand numbers between 11 and 20 in different ways. So if you look onto your screen now, you can see a few different ways that we can have a look at showing these numbers. Some of them you will know, a couple might be new. So let's have a look first of all at those 10 frames. Point to the 10 frames on your screen. Excellent, they are here. Here we have our 10 frames. We know that when a 10 frame is full, there are 10 things in it. So we know that we've got 10 here in this full 10 frame. Okay, and we know to work out that number, we would need to count on from 10 to the 10 frame, from the 10 frame that's full, counting the other ones. So we've got 10 here, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So altogether, this number here is 19. Super, you are fabulous at 10 frames now. We can also show numbers between 11 and 20 using our Numicon. So we can see Numicon on the board as well. Can you point to it on the screen? Super, our Numicon is this one here. So I'm going to pop a circle around that. There's our Numicon, and it looks a bit like this one. We have it in our classroom, doesn't it? Okay, what can you tell me about this Numicon here? What is this worth? What number is this? It's a 10. We know it's 10 because there's 10 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And actually, if you turn it around like this, look, it looks a little bit like a 10 frame, doesn't it? 10 frames might be this way or this way. Okay, we've got 10 here. So how are we going to work out the number that we have? Count on from 10. We've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So altogether here we have 15. So that number is 15. With the Numicon, we know that this number is 19. Okay, now we have some straws. So I have got some straws here as well. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Can you count how many straws are wrapped in my elastic band? You can also count how many straws there are wrapped in the elastic bands in the bundle that's on the board I'm circling now. It's exactly the same. There are 10. So when you see a bundle of straws wrapped up in an elastic band together, that represents a 10. And then we have 2 more straws. So we've got 10 here. We know that a bundle represents 10. We've got another one, 11, 12. We've got 2 separate ones. So altogether there, we have our number 12. But it's just been represented in a different way. It's been using straws. So remember, whenever you see a bundle of straws wrapped, you can count them separately just to make sure. But there will be 10 in there together. So we've got 10, 11, 12 on that picture there. And finally, we can use our hands. So can you see where the hands are on the screen? I'm just going to pop a little circle around those so we can spot them. We know where they are, don't we? So we'll notice that we have, for this one, I'm just going to take these off as we're not looking at the Numicon anymore. We have a hand like this, 5 fingers, another hand like this, another 5 fingers, and altogether we have 10 fingers there, don't we? We know that our hands have 10 fingers and thumbs altogether. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, so we've got 10 there, and then we've got the other hand just has 2 fingers. So we had 10, and then we're going to count on from 10, 11, 12. So we can use our hands to count 10, and then we know that however many more we've got, we add those on and count on from 10. Okay, excellent. So there would be 12 there for the hands one. Okay, boys and girls, so now it's your turn. Can you use these different ways of representing numbers to work out how many are shown? You're going to do this with the 10 frames, the Numicon, the straws, and the fingers and hands. Can you pause the video now and work out what each number is that's been shown? Excellent work. Let's go through the answers. So let's look at the 10 frames first. We know, because we're super 10 frame readers now, that our full 10 frame is 10. I'm going to count on from 10 to work out what the final number is. So we've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Did you get that the 10 frames are showing 16? Incredible. If you did, give yourself a huge rainbow clap. Fabulous counting. Okay, let's look at our Numicon now. So once again, I know that this big Numicon here, the purple one, is 10. Bit like a 10 frame, remember? Just turned around. Okay, I'm going to count on from 10 to be super speedy and work out what my number is. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Wonderful. Did you get that the answer was 18? 18 is being shown on the Numicon. Super thumbs up, double thumbs up for you. Okay, let's have a look at these straws now. How much is a bundle of straws worth when they're all wrapped up together? We know it's 10. 10. And then we've got some separate straws on their own that we can count to help us. So we've got 10 there. We know that this is definitely 10. Okay, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 straws altogether. Did you get that? Excellent. I'm just putting little dots on them so I know that I've counted them. Okay, and finally our hands. Let's see your fabulous careful counting once more. So we've got a full set of 10 here on the screen, and then we've got to count an extra finger. So it's 10, then 11. I know I've got 10 here, and then add one more, count on 11. The number shown there is 11. I know you will have got that because you are just super duper counters. Well done, everybody. Okay, so Tiny, our tiny turtle, has been counting again, and he says, look how many ways I can show 12. Now, I would like you to engage your brains into superpower mode because I want you to have a think. Do all of these ways on the board show 12, or has he maybe made a little mistake? Can you pause the video, use careful counting and work out if he has made any mistakes? Okay, let's have a look together then. So the fingers and hands, we've got those 10 fingers together there. We know that this is 10, and we're going to count on from 10, 11, 12. That one's right. I'm going to give Tiny a big tick there. That one's correct. Well done, Tiny. What about the Numicon? Again, we know we've got 10 here. It's just been laid on its side this time. So the Numicon could look like this. A bit like when we were looking at rectangles before the holidays. Could look like this, but it's exactly the same. It's just turned over. Looks more like a 10 frame now, doesn't it? So that is 10. Count on from 10, 11, 12. Oh, well done, Tiny. He's right again. Say to him, well done, Tiny. So far, Tiny, you're doing well. Okay, let's count the apples now. Now, these are not counted in tens. They're actually in smaller numbers, those bags of apples, aren't they? So we need to carefully count each one. If it helps, I like to put a little dot on them so I know I've counted them. So I'm going to show you that now. 1, I'm going to start in the bag on the side, on the far left. 1. I might actually put the number inside each apple so I know as well. 2, 3, 4. There's 4 apples in that bag. I want to know if he's got 12 altogether. Keep counting. 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll keep counting from 8, counting on. 9, 10, 11. Tiny, by accident, you counted 12 instead of 11 apples. It doesn't matter though, but we know, because we're super duper counters, to help Tiny out with that one. So unfortunately, Tiny, I'm going to just put a little cross next to that one. That one does not show 12. Let's have a look at the dice. In the same way that we did before, I'm going to put a little dot in each one this time as I count. Careful, accurate counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on one dice. That must mean they're both the same. Must mean there's 6 on the other dice as well. But I'll count on from 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You got that one right, Tiny. Brilliant. Let's give him a big tick. Is that what you got too? So today is all about careful counting, making sure that we try our best not to make any mistakes with our counting, because Tiny did and it's fine, but we are really super duper counters, so we're going to be super duper careful. So I would like you to pick a number now between 11 and 20. When you've chosen that number, I would like you to try and make that number in as many different ways as you can. So if you've chosen to have, if you've got 20 buttons in front of you, let's say, okay, there are lots of different ways that you could make your number. So I'm going to choose the number 17. Okay, let's just have a look. So I've got the number 17. That's my number. I'd like you to try and make 17 in different ways. So the first way could be with your buttons. I'm just going to draw them because I don't have any buttons right now. I'm going to pretend these are little buttons. So I could put my buttons into a group of 10 and then a group of 7. I've got 10 here, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That would be one way that I could build my number 17. But what about if I thought a little bit like these? I've got little bags now to put my buttons in. I'm just imagining you might want to draw some bags for your buttons, but this time I want to put them into 3 bags. My 17 buttons. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 buttons in this bag. I'm going to put a few in here too and a few in here as well. So I'm going to put 9 in here, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I've got 9 buttons in here. I've got 6 buttons in here. Let me count those again to make sure I know how many I've got already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Count on. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I've still not got enough, so I need to put some more in my final bag. 16, count on from where you were. 17. This time I made 17 by having 3 different sets of numbers. I had 9, then I counted on from 9 up to 15, and then I counted on 2 more to get to 17. Can you make your number in 2 different ways? And if we wanted to make 20, we could do that in lots of different ways, because 20 is a huge number, isn't it? It's a really big number. So we could do that with not just one person's hands and fingers, but if you looked at your mum's hands or dad's hands as well as yours and counted all the fingers, 2 pairs of hands makes 20. We could also have 2 sets of straws that are in bundles of 10. So if I look at my bundle from before, and I've just added to my other bundle, I've got 2 bundles now. I've got a bundle of 10 here and a bundle of 10 here, making 20. And also we know that on a 10 frame there are 10 spaces. So if this was full, it would be 10. So on 2 10 frames, there are space for 20 things if it's full. 10, 20. That's counting in tens. There are lots of different ways that we can make 20. And there are lots of different ways that we can make many numbers. So one of your challenges today is to make a number in different ways. So I'm going to pick that number 17 again. I'm going to write it at the top here, look. And on the board you can see that I've got some 10 frames. I'm going to make the number 17 in different ways. The first way is to fill my 10 frame, my first 10 frame. So if I fill it, I know it's going to draw. Imagine these are little, whatever objects that you've got. But I'm just going to pretend they're little buttons again for now on my 10 frame. So I know that if I'm filling my 10 frame, there's 10 things in it. So one way is to fill one 10 frame and then count on from 10 in your second 10 frame, just like we were doing yesterday. So 10, and I want 17. So 11, can you count with me? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, now for the second one, just wondering what I could do differently. Have you got any ideas? I want it to look a bit different this time. I don't want to have 10 on one 10 frame and 7 on the other. So what about if I almost fill my 10 frame? Have a look with me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to miss that one out. 9. So my 10 frame is not full. I've only got 9 in my 10 frame. And I'm going to leave it that way because I want to make 17 in a different way. So I've got 9 in that 10 frame. So I need to count on from 9 my second 10 frame to make sure it still makes 17 with my buttons. So I had 9, count on from 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Even though it looks different to the one above, that's what we want, but we need to make sure there are 17 altogether. So we'll have to count them to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Brilliant, I've got 17 again, but this time I only had 9 in one 10 frame and 8 in the other. What amazing maths. I'm going to try and do it a different way now. So watch carefully. 1, I don't want to fill my 10 frame. 2, 3, but I need to put some in each 10 frame. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I've got 8 in this 10 frame now. Not 10, it's not full. I'm going to count on from 8 in my other 10 frame to get to 17. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wow, that looks different again. So this time, let's just double check that all those buttons add up to 17 by counting carefully. With 10 frames, it's nice we can count across them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on the second 10 frame now. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wow, we have made 17 in 3 different ways. There's going to be time for you to do that now in your maths challenge. I can't wait to see how you can create your numbers in different ways.